Hello everyone, it's nice to meet you. I'm Jeremy Visca. If you haven't heard of me or Spare-Brained Ideas, we'll do a quick little intro. I'm a consultant, developer, trainer, support, all-around sort of person in the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central space. I've been working with the product for over 20 years and doing lots of things to help the community, enough so that just in February of this year, I am now an MVP. You can find me on Twitter and GitHub, of course, and let's talk about what is Spare-Brained Ideas. I am CEO of the small company, myself and two others, Klaus and Philip, and the idea behind this company is it's a platform for us to be able to give back to the community. There are so many different people who have created great tools, have helped offer free training, free applications, free extensions, so I wanted to get into the mix and provide some value to everyone as well, to help more than just the one customer, one partner. Of course, we do all have bills, so there are some commercial offerings that we have in the space, and we utilize those commercial services to underwrite the efforts that we do for community efforts. So we appreciate those of you who are customers of ours. So let's talk about what are some of those community offerings. Well, in our first year, which ran from March of 2021 to 2022, always a bold move to start something new during a pandemic, the things that we've done over the course of the year is offer lots of instructional content. For example, we have a great YouTube channel with some series of different technologies and how to make use of them. My favorite that has been used by a number of people, and I've gotten some very positive feedback even from Microsoft staff about a 2-hour live stream that I did where we took a custom extension and brought it all the way through the process of what do you need, if that's what you've made, to get to published successfully on AppSource. What do you need to do as a partner? What do you got to set up from the sales and marketing perspective? All those different pieces. So there's lots of great content like that on our channel. We also have code samples up on GitHub. There's more that I look forward to doing, but future stuff is later in the session. We also had a lot of fun putting together a pack of wallpapers, super popular little thing. It's just one of those nice things that when you're doing demos for customers, kind of showing the brand pride in the product as well. For those of you who haven't heard already, there is a Discord server that we make use of in the community. We've got hundreds of people, including MVPs and Microsoft staff, who like to stop by, hang out. We have discussion threads on lots of different topics, both technical and application, and sometimes it's just socializing too. One of my favorite moments, there was a group of us, we were just all cooking dinner, European time, just chit-chatting about some of the different things going on. Additionally, we set up newsletters at the end of last year, and these are nonprofit. They don't cost anything. There's no advertising. But what they do is they will, on a weekly or daily basis, whatever you prefer, you can sign up and say, I would like to know what blogs have come out in the past week that I should be paying attention to. It makes it a very easy way for you to try to keep up with one quick email. And then, of course, there is the crowning achievement of community tools and offerings. We created a free app for AppSource monetization. It doesn't have to be AppSource, but it's logical for that space. So let's talk a little bit about what is that. Our Spare-Brained Ideas licensing app is a monetization/licensing platform that, as developers creating solutions for customers or for the AppSource market space, you need to potentially have some mechanism by which you can validate that a license key is correct and valid. Whether you sell it as a one-time thing, a monthly or annual subscription, Out of the box, this solution that we have created works with the Gumroad platform to make the actual cash and tax implications really handy. It supports lots of the functionality around being able to have affiliates so that you can sell solutions with margins to people. Let's take a look at what you can find out about the solution here on the SpareBrain site. And let me go full screen to make this easier for you to see. Here on the site, you will find that we have the SpareBrain licensing front and center at the moment, but you can also find it here under our products, and you will find that we do a breakdown of exactly what features are available out of the box with this. For example, many people like to be able to do test drives of extensions, so there's built-in support for this to support those free trial modes where you do offer grace periods for being able to allow a customer to hit that free trial button, get the app installed in their environment, and give it a try for a week or a month, whatever makes sense for your environment, as well as some extra bells and whistles like Microsoft doesn't push versions to customers only on majors, so every 6 months. But what if you release an update between now and then? How does a customer know? This gives a framework for doing that. It is open source, so you can follow the links on the site here and you'll see that this is the open source. You can dig right into how do we do all of these functions. On this repo, we've got a wiki about exactly what you need to do as a partner to make use of this, as well as things like how do you present to the customer when we're looking here, some of the links that let them jump to easily buy your product. How do you set those up? This is all explained in detail in the wiki. And there's also some YouTube events on our channel. For example, as I mentioned, we did one where we went from AL to AppSource. We make use of hooking up the licensing app in a brand new extension and talk through everything you need to do to be able to lock maybe only parts of your functionality behind that licensing paywall, so you can have different variants of that. So there's a lot of functionality built into that, and that is free. It's available on AppSource. You can install it right now. It just drops you right to it, and you're welcome to make use of that. Very easy to work with. It is extensible itself, so if you need to, for example, make use of all of the functionality, but you don't want to use Gumroad as your license key provider and checkout process, you want to do something custom, that's why it's open source. You can very quickly and easily extend this to do more things with it. Now, that's all free, so enjoy, have fun with that. And let's get back to some of the other things. So, of course, we also, as I mentioned, are doing commercial offerings. For those of you who are following along closely, you will already know, but last year we produced the Getting Started Guide to Business Central, your first 20 hours with Business Central, which I'm going to take just a moment to pop into just to show you guys around a little bit. This is available as an ebook, which you can download immediately. It's also available on print. That can be just as easily found on the SpareBrain products site. We've got this available in not only the ebook form, but also in a variety of Amazon market spaces. So you can get what copy makes sense to you. For example, if you need to hand a copy to a customer. And additionally, the ebook version, we created a preview version that is the first 40 pages, the first full 2 chapters that you can download right away. And you are welcome. That is free to share. So if you want to hand that to customers and say, okay, well, you know what? You're getting started with Business Central. You need to understand how exactly the UI looks. What are the different components you're going to look at? When I talk about a list versus talking about a card, what do we mean by all those different pieces? What is a fact box? What are some of the common things that you can expect from running reports, action bars? Lots of that sort of info. Included in that is also understanding a bit more about what's in the system. So this preview chapter will cover lots of things. I hope that folks would be interested in buying copies of the book as well. If you are a partner that is wanting to sell this to your customers, you can sign up for our affiliate program, and then when you sell copies to customers, you get a percentage of the sales of that. So that's definitely one of the things I'm very proud of for us publishing last year. We also ran an advisory service last year, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in detail. We had consulting services. Many partners wanted to hire us directly on per project sort of things. We also have a no-code API app that I'm going to go into a little more detail on in just a moment. And we've got some other apps on AppSource as well that I would encourage you to look at. As mentioned, Your First 20 Hours with Business Central. It's a guide to taking an empty company all the way through. You're able to do transactions. How do you get there? How do you do opening balances? How do you import your customer data, your master data, your historical data, your open balances? How do you do all those things? Apologies, I went off script and we already did a look inside Tor. The advisory service is a deep dive session week by week that we go through, and we did an hour, usually hour and a half call with our advisory customers. That was really fantastic. One of my favorites to work with last year was someone who is currently working with NAV 2009 through 2015. And he knew that the customers that looked to him to be that expert wanted to think about their road to BC, and to be able to help them on that voyage. Even if he didn't do the work himself, he knew he needed more hands-on approach, be able to start making his first extension, managing pipelines, working with Git, all of those different moving parts. It was fantastic to do a one-on-one and just go through things. And that was a straightforward fixed price for a quarter, and we just chatted every week, and we did some homework assignments. Fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. Obviously, there's a limited number of slots per year on that, so we'll see if we have some this year upcoming. And I'm particularly proud of this. I would consider this our flagship product, the Data Braider solution. At the moment, this is one of the only solutions, not only, but one of the only solutions for no-code custom APIs. And the idea behind this is that your consultants, your Power Platform people, your end users can potentially expose information from Business Central to things like Power BI and Power Platform without having to create extensions to do development work. So let's take a look at how that actually works. And I bet you my BC fell asleep because, of course, those of you who do demonstrations know my pain. So if we look at what the concept of this is, very quick in a nutshell, just like config packages, we choose what source tables that we want to expose, and we choose which fields that we want to include in the data. So for example, here I'm looking at the customer. I say I want to include the customer number, the customer name, and then from the customer ledger entry, I want to include some fields like I only want to include invoices that are open, and I want to include the document number, the customer code, currency code rather. And if we look at the preview JSON, we can see this makes an API of all of the different components that you select. And they're super easy to make a new one. If we, for example, look at the way this pulls up in Postman, for those of you who are technical enough to work with this sort of thing, you'll see that it pulls up the data set just exactly as the preview. So you always can quickly build a new API, send it to your integration partners, and it's as good as the results you're going to get out of the Postman ecosystem. So pretty fantastic, and it's easy to make these. So if we wanted to have a new one where we were going to provide sales line orders with outstanding quantity to, say, a web shop, well, we grab our sales header, we grab our sales line, and we connect those up a little bit, which I'm working on making automatic, so that's going to be fun. So We connect those, and now we just decide, okay, well, I want to include only orders, so we'll do a filter on order. We want to include the order number, the sell to customer number, the order date, and I think we'll probably want the customer name, which is down in the list here. So there we go. And on the sales line, we want only the lines that have items. So we'll do a quick filter on that. We want the item number, description, unit measure, quantity, price. Sounds good. Maybe the line total, and there we go. Let's do an outstanding quantity too. And now we just set that to flat to make it easy for Power BI to consume and preview what we look like. And ta-da, there we go. So now you've got an API. This is live instantly. You don't have to republish. You don't have to make any adjustments. So you can be sitting in a meeting with a web shop integration team or a Power Platform consultant and go, you know, we really should make sure we grab the email from the sales header, and can we work on that right now? Oh, well, you know, let's just come on in here and we'll search up email, which you can use the search. I think it's e-mail in the... all right. Okay. Well, I don't remember the exact name, but I'm pretty sure we have the email address as a document field, but we can include any field that's on here. The advantage of this is that it works with custom solutions. It works with extensions. So anything you've added to a table is available here. So if you are working with a PTE, per tenant extension that your partner's built for you or you've built for yourself, that adds custom fields to your sales order, yeah, no problem. They'll be here in the list. It includes everything. And it is easy to adjust, easy to work with. Just like everything else that is available in our products section. And it's also available on the homepage. There is a guide to exactly how to use this on our YouTube channel. We did a webinar a little while ago on this. And the process of installing this to try it out, nice and easy. It's available here on AppSource. Follow that link and free trial. The price on this is 140 euros a month at the moment for the basic product. It is read only, and we're going to talk about that in a future section in just a few minutes. However, you can install this as a free trial into production environments for a week just to tinker with it, and you can install it into a sandbox, and I've set the sandbox to be free to play with for 60 days. So you can really just drop this into an environment, play with it, see if it does what you need, and when you come back to it and you go, okay, this does do what I need to do, then you simply go to the Gumroad site here that links you, and you choose what subscription you would like to have for this product. It's that easy. And then the licensing application, you just paste in your key, it activates, and away you go. So Data Braider, fantastic solution for making custom APIs quickly available. It provides lots and lots of data when you're working with anything that you might need to provide to API integrations, platform people, whatever have you. If you are working with some of the built-in APIs, you'll notice that it includes like the ID strings for being able to call some of the standard APIs for connected data as well. So really fantastic. I remain very proud of that particular solution. And let's talk about new stuff. We're coming into our second year. We're obviously going to continue to do lots more instructional content. I enjoy teaching about the product. I love helping people make different solutions for things. So we're going to have lots of that. I'm looking forward to doing lots more code samples in our GitHub repositories. And we do have some more AppSource apps that are going to be open source on our roadmap. And that's going to be a lot of fun. There are some speaking events potentially coming up. We'll see. You hopefully watched my session just a couple of days ago here at DynamicsCon. I would like to do some more of those. I know I love doing some events with the Europa webinar series, for example. They have such great content. And then we've got new commercial stuff coming up. We have more books on the way. I think one of my favorites that is due out in Q2 of 2022 is a book all about APIs. And I'm looking greatly forward to sneaking some news about that here and there. So if you haven't followed me on Twitter, do so, and I can hopefully start leaking some fun details about that, because there are some fun surprises waiting on that. We do have a few advisory service slots becoming available this year. They're a 3-month run, so we only have a few limited slots per quarter. So reach out to me if you're looking for potentially having an MVP be your one-on-one coach for 3 months around some training. We also are going to be doing some really great upgrades to apps. We've gotten a lot of requests around data. Braider is a fantastic idea to be able to extract data out. Is there anything I can do to help people be able to write quickly some custom APIs that allow you to put data back into the system? And I am going to be having some very great news on that, hopefully in the 30-day time frame, but definitely Q2. So make sure you give us a follow, sign up for newsletters, all that sort of thing. We will be reaching out to people. And we do have some more AppSource apps that are on the roadmap that are going to be helpful integrations and that sort of thing. So I'm looking greatly forward to being able to talk about those things more. So without too much further ado, then I'm going to recommend people hit sparebrain.com. There is a little sign up that you can do if you want to keep signed up to our newsletter, just straight at the bottom of the front page. It's not too far down. We don't send out newsletters unless there's actual news. So most of you will know I haven't really sent out much of anything just yet. We're going to be doing our first newsletter this month. So, yep, that is everything for that. I'm going to open this up now to doing some Q&A. I know that a number of partners have reached out to me to find out more about the licensing app and how they can get started with making use of that. What are some of the limitations? What are some of the options available to that? We do have some functionality planned for the licensing app to support sub-module based licensing, so that way you can have one app that maybe has 5 different feature sets, and each of those features has a product key. There are some different strategies and things like that that partners have asked us about, and I'm looking greatly forward to that. So without further ado, then we're going to jump over to our live Q&A session. So I hope you guys have some good questions. Alrighty, hopefully we are live, and yeah, hey guys. I didn't I didn't contain myself on answering questions in chat as the session was going, so I have unfortunately answered a lot of the questions asked already. And I try not to do that to other speakers. Real challenge there. So since there's not a lot of open questions in here, whenever I have air to fill, then I like to share some news. And I, in the intervening time since recording that session, have talked with my team, and we have committed to some dates. And so you guys are getting some preview news that is not anywhere yet on social media. It's not been said in any newsletters. It's just for you guys for showing up here today. So everyone else is going to have to wait for the news. So let's share some stuff. What's coming? Well, let's see here. So we have the question that everyone keeps asking. Can I write back to custom APIs with Data Braider? Well, in Q2, yep. We have a version with write back coming. We are, of course, going to have lots of validation around that. and we are going to be providing some things that standard API functionality doesn't do without coding efforts, including mandatory fields and defaulting. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot more with that. So the cool thing about doing this strategy is that you'll be able to make an API endpoint for, say, for example, a web shop integration and that sort of thing, where say, for example, you give your web shop a login, and whenever they create an order, you want to have 3 or 4 fields in the header of the sales order populate with the same value every time because it's coming from the web shop. Well, then defaulting will be your guy. And the reason I mention right back in mandatory fields is sometimes you need to expose data to a website easily, but you don't want them to change it. You just need them to be able to see it. So that's a cool feature I'm looking forward to having happen. They're all working right now. I'm just testing it and making sure that it's bulletproof enough for AppSource. I'm the support team too. So the other big news that people are hitting me up for lots of info about, and I just got approval to talk about, is when is the next book? And the sharp eye folks in the audience will see, because PowerPoint oddly left a ghosting. The guide to BC APIs is coming in Q2. We have been struggling a lot with more and more partners are needing some sort of really good comprehensive guide to Business Central APIs. What do I need to know about authentication, expanding? What are the endpoints that actually work? And then also we've had a lot of challenges around when you're sitting with a customer who just knows the screens and a web integration team who just knows the API endpoint. How do you connect those things? Some of the fields are renamed. So that's definitely on the radar. This time around, Philip, who was my editor for the previous book and helped with refining a lot of language, is helping write this one. So this is a 3-author book. And of course, me. And the best news that I'm very happy to announce is that AJ is joining in writing some chapters for this book. So I am very confident that we're not going to say anything daft and overpromise anything in the book that doesn't follow best practice. So I'm looking greatly forward to wrapping up the work on that over the next month or so, and that will be coming soon. So that is brand new news information. No one has heard this outside of a very small crowd. So thank you guys for showing up, and that's my little gift for you. As I did last time, when we got down to the final editing stages and we were pretty close to releasing the book, we did set up the ability to pre-order the ebook. Gumroad is great for that, and then it just goes through. You get an email notification the minute it drops. But this time we'll make sure to have also print options available right from the get-go. I don't know how well Amazon does pre-ordering for print-on-demand books, which is what this would be. We are not packed. we don't order a whole bunch in advance. So that's a fun thing that is coming, and I hope that will help a whole lot of people, because one of the things that we've run into with working with the API is that there's a lot of question of, is there a way to enter this journal? Well, this guide is going to break it down endpoint by endpoint. What parts of the system do they connect to? And it will connect, is this a read-only or a write-back endpoint? Because sometimes the data is exposed, but you don't get a whole lot of ability to write the data back that you need. So, yep. Yeah, probably should start learning about APIs. I heard there's a guy teaching a pretty good class in that. I think I took that. Okay, well, I hope that was a useful recap for everyone following along with all the various pieces we've done over the past year or so, and a fun surprise for those of you willing to show up for a sponsor session. And let's not tell the rest of the internet for a little while, and we'll see how long that stays a state secret. All right, everyone. Well, thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the day 3 of DynamicsCon. and appreciate it. And we'll be doing lots more streams this year, so looking forward to talking to you all more.